You are only here to see what 5 perfumes I have been complimented on. These are unsolicited compliments. Those 5 were the ones that I can remember being complimented on. If that's all you wanted to know, you can click off this video right now. But otherwise, if you're going to stick around, I'm going to give you a little bit of context. It is the easiest thing to do, just like I've done, to stick up a thumbnail on a video talking about complimented fragrances. But it is really important to consider the context of compliments, specifically on your fragrance. And I'm going to talk about a few other things. Yes, I definitely remember getting complimented when I've worn those 5 perfumes. Now, you might look at some of those perfumes and think that they're not your usual standard type of compliment getter perfumes that you might see all over fragrance YouTube. And they shouldn't be, right? Because there is such a thing that exists as mass appealing, crowd pleasing perfumes. They're generally very, very popular. And you also have to consider demographics and things like that. Now, I want to put this into context. I don't think I have been given an unsolicited compliment on how I smell for at least a year, right? And those type of compliments are few and far between. Now, the context is that I'm a 52-year-old straight white guy, and I don't actually find myself too often in situations where people can actually be close enough to me, A, to even smell me, and then B, to even be familiar or bold enough to tell me that I smell good. So all of these compliments I got were pretty much in a situation where I knew a few of the people, I got close enough to them, I was talking to them, and it was not out of the blue. No one came chasing me down the street to ask me for the name of the perfume I was wearing. And look, I don't doubt that actually happens to some people, but my point is that with a lot of things in the fragrance community, on YouTube, on Instagram, any social media, you have to sort of apply what you're being told to your real world situation. And maybe if I was a lot younger and I was going out, or I was clubbing and I was wearing stuff that really stood out, people might comment more on that, but it just simply doesn't happen for me. And to me, when I see a video talking about compliment getters, I have to take it with a grain of salt. I have to apply it to my personal situation. And then the most important bit is I have to actually like how these perfumes would actually smell on my skin. So I'm probably really preaching to the converted here when I'm talking about this, and it is silly to think that you can just make a list of proven compliment getters. There might be one in your own personal collections that without fail draws compliments. And again, unsolicited compliments. I absolutely don't count me asking a person close to me what they think of my scent and they politely say, yeah, I really like it. That to me is not a compliment. That to me is a prompted response, especially if they don't want to be rude to you. Now, please don't get me wrong. I actually really love all the times someone says I smell good. It's validating. Obviously, it validates the fact that I have at least some taste in my perfume that at least one other person agrees to or agrees with or is, in agreement with me about the fact that it smells good, because I wouldn't smell anything that I don't think smells good. But really, these type of most complimented lists are view generators, and they're aimed at people who probably are a little bit sort of still not knowing enough about fragrance, or really have gotten into them, and they're using perfume or fragrance as an external crutch to supplement what is lacking in physical or personality attributes, maybe. But the most important thing when it comes to perfume and wearing it is to just make sure that you enjoy wearing it, that you can smell it. Oftentimes people will comment on a perfume because really what they're commenting on is how strong that perfume is. Like, I know I've walked into many an elevator and just been smacked in the face by someone's heavy-handed perfume spraying. Now, under different circumstances, I might smell that perfume and in my own personal space or through testing and think, well, that's a nice perfume. But in those circumstances, nearly most of those times, I'm just thinking, wow, this person's just sprayed so much of this stuff on. So this video is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I have complimented perfumes. In fact, really, if I want to talk about my most complimented perfumes, there are a couple where I got multiple different compliments. I'm talking, when I say multiple, 3 or 4 different compliments from different people. But these 2 perfumes, funnily enough, are 2 perfumes I no longer own. The first one is Green Irish Tweed from Creed. And it's kind of ironic because everyone talks about Aventus as the compliment getter. Green Irish Tweed. And the other one is Andy Towers' L'air du Desert Marracan. And I suspect that both of those were really good projectors off my skin. I did get good feedback on them, but they're quite easy to smell from a distance. So even if you don't overspray. So I do get compliments. I wish I got more compliments, to be honest. I really do. But it just doesn't happen for this guy. This is my world, and in no world am I getting chased down the street by someone asking me what perfume I'm wearing so they can buy it for their boyfriend or husband. Never happens. I'm just happy if someone gets close enough to me, starts talking to me, and compliments my perfume, but it should never be a crutch for your shortcomings. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.